All right, thank you everyone for watching Eastern Volleyball Network. This is Graham Wren. I've got Shane Spellman with me. The reviews for you, Shane, were just so off the charts, so good that we had to bring you back for another one. How you doing, dude?
We are back. We are back. Let's see if I can repeat my performance. I have never been more invested in an AVP women's qualifier event in my life, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the last one turned out for me. So we'll see if we can repeat this one in a little bit more of a gnarly situation for me.
Yeah. How so let me ask you, because I know that how many matches did you miss your prediction on? You missed 2 last time.
2. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And one was the first round 16-17. And the other one was the 4-5 match to get in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Pretty easy ones to pick. So you really dropped the ball on a perfect bracket there.
Yeah, I blew it. Blew it.
Yeah. All right. So without further ado, we'll go into the first quadrant. Kim Hildreth, Katie Hogan against Kylie Bryan and Hannah Wentland.
Yeah, this one's pretty cut and dried for me. The one take this. Kylie Bryan is a beach player at HBU, but still both pretty young kids here coming out of phase 1. So they played today. Just one match for all the phase 1 gals that came out of phase 1. So, but even still, Hildreth and Hogan are going to handle this pretty easily.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'd have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, they were straight in to the main draw in both the other 2. So.
Yeah. All right, next one, we have Katie Horton, Haley Luke against Tiffany Creamer and Carolyn Meister. The dreaded 16-17 matchup.
So I think this one is a little bit less of a question mark. I remember the last one was 21-19, 21-19, the opposite way that I picked it, so it was real close. But Katie Horton and Haley Luke played together at Florida State. In 2018, they were on the NCAA all tournament team that year. So they have a good history together. And then Carolyn Meister, as no stranger to the qualifier. I think the athleticism and the kind of just the size of Horton and Luke put them over the top here. They take this one.
Sure.
First upset. Let's go. Second pick. First upset. Come on.
Important question for you. Wasn't Tiffany Creamer and partner one of the picks that you missed last time? No. She wasn't the 16-17? Maybe I'm wrong.
No. I don't think so. Let me look.
Yeah.
Reasonable question. Let's take a look. No. It was Pater Scarborough was 16 and Bailey Bars and Eunice Ricosa was a 17, and I picked Pater and Scarborough.
Interesting. Okay. I swear I remember Creamer being a 16 in one of the brackets. Maybe it was Atlanta. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going with Horton and Luke.
Yep.
All right. After all that, Carly Kahn, Chelsea Rice against Courtney Blako and Adriana Nora, the 9 versus the 24.
Yeah. Carly Kahn and Katie Horton from the previous round match have played the last 2 together. So that was a little bit of a split up. They didn't qualify. They lost in the match, get in twice. So I think that was kind of something that maybe I could have guessed was going to happen. Carly's going to play with Chelsea Rice, Southern California gal. Courtney Blako, we talked about her last time. So this is going to be her hometown tournament. She's a Chicago player. Adriana Nora, a 6'2" or so blocker. So she's going to run up for Courtney. This is probably closer than it looks at the 9-24, but I do think Kahn and Rice take this one.
Yeah. All right. Next at the 825, Savvy Semo, Abby Van Winkle against Jessica Wooten and Melissa Powell.
Yeah. This one's probably pretty straightforward as well. Powell played with Lauren Deterk last time. They didn't qualify. I believe they lost to Delaney Maple, but yeah, Semo and Van Winkle are very, very good. Once again, like they get stuck with the 8 and they get stuck with the with the 1 seed, and that's gonna be tough sledding for them. Last time it was Lexi Denneberg and Clara Salgado. This time it's Hildreth Hogan. I think they take this one fairly easily though. So I'm going to need Semo Van Winkle.
Sure. All right. So round of 16, Hildreth and Hogan against Horton and Luke. What do you think here? You think I guess we got an all Florida matchup, right? Between Hildreth and Hogan and then the Florida State alums. What do you think?
Yeah. Katie Horton is actually from Michigan, like Detroit area. But yeah, spent time in Florida and most recently was the assistant at Tulane, but I think she left and they hired somebody else. But from what I saw today, it was pretty windy. Yes. And that's going to favor the Florida players pretty much going through this qualifier, I think. And for that reason mainly, and just kind of the experience in these kind of tournaments, and going deep in these kind of tournaments, I'm going to take Hildreth and Hogan.
That's interesting because talking to our dearly fallen comrade from today, Kevin was saying it was like 17 to 22 mile per hour winds, but for the most part, it was like a pure side wind, which you would kind of think would favor the California teams.
Sure. What's interesting about this qualifier is there's not a ton of California players in the qualifier, at least on the women's side. You've got some of the younger college kids, but like seems like the older, more experienced California players are mostly just straight in. But yeah, just kind of a general observation. Anyways.
Yeah. Did you give me a pick there?
Hildreth Hogan. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen Haley Luke on any finish lists. I'm not sure if she's been playing much. I don't know if this is just kind of like a blast from the past, kind of a partnership for Katie for the last one. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, Haley was phenomenal when she was at Florida State. Just haven't really seen her play a ton since.
All right, so moving on to the other round, we've got Carly Kahn and Chelsea Rice against Savvy Semo and Abby Van Winkle. And that's a pretty brutal 8-9 matchup.
Yeah, it really is. Kahn with all the college experience, Semo and Van Winkle, of course, the same, going as deep as you can go in the tournament, 2 or 3 years in a row. This is probably going to kind of come down to how Chelsea Rice plays. I think if she plays really well, then it can be something that's kind of tough for Semo and Van Winkle. If she doesn't play well, it might be the 8 going away. Either way, I think I'm probably going to lean with the high seed here. So Semo and Van Winkle probably get to the match to get in again.
All right, so now we are at the dreaded match to get in. We have Kim Hildreth, Katie Hogan against Savvy Semo and Abby Van Winkle.
Yeah, this is and this is just kind of looking at the bracket overall. This is going to be a trend for most of these quads, and this is tough. Hildreth and Hogan have, of course, they've been in both main draws, but they've lost 2 matches to be out in both of those tournaments, and they haven't necessarily, they lost in 3, and then they got kind of run out of the gym by Kelly and Sponsel, and then kind of close but not really in the second tournament. So yeah, I think they're just kind of playing mediocre ball right now, and I think I'm gonna take Semo and Van Winkle to break through here and qualify after 2 kind of brutal draws in a row to get in.
It's funny. I was getting ready to make a big dramatic entrance with a pick against your pick of the favorite, and then you went and surprised me and picked Semo and Van Winkle, and I just kind of had to sit here and close my mouth.
That's tough. That's tough. That's
Yeah.
tough.
All right. So next quadrant. At the 5 versus the 28, we have the Maestrinis, Larissa and Liliane against Lindsay Fuller and Allie Fox.
Yeah, I mean the Brazilians need no introduction. Larissa is an absolute legend, 3-time Olympian. Lily is no different really. They've both done really well in the FIVB. Larissa's actually won an AVP tournament before, believe it or not. 2009, they did a US versus Brazil event with like the top 4 teams from Brazil and the top 4 teams from the US. And she won that. She beat Missy and Carrie in the finals. Yeah, the Fox Fuller team, it's Fox's first AVP event. And Lindsay Fuller, no stranger to the qualifier. She's played a lot over the years, but yeah, I just think the Brazilians with the third. I can't remember which one. Yeah, I mean they're finished last week. Was it 5th or 3rd? I know they made Sunday. I just don't remember.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna win this, and this is pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, because I think they got knocked out by Hughes and Wilkerson, I want to say, right? Or did they beat?
Yeah, I just don't remember if it was. I mean, let's look. Let's just use the internet and look.
Yeah. Oh, interwebs.
Yeah, so they lost in the semis.
I was gonna say, I thought I remembered them playing Hughes and Wilkerson to make the semi, and I felt like they won.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Okay, got it. All right, so next match, 12-21, Aurora Davis, Tony Rodriguez against Ashley Pater and Bree Scarborough. Your nemesis,
yeah,
right? One of your 2 in
yeah, seriously. This is actually a really interesting match because I feel like Aurora, she got in last week with Sakura, and that was cool. She was playing with Lydia before that. I'm not really sure what the background is on this partnership. Tony Rodriguez is a LSU kid. She played really well when she was there, but hasn't quite had any really great finishes. 225ths this year, and that's kind of been it for her. On the come up for sure, and a good player. But I think again with and Aurora is of course a Florida person as well, but I think this match is gonna hinge on Rodriguez, and I really think I'm gonna pick him again. I'm gonna pick Pater and Scarborough again, and I hope they don't screw me twice, Yeah.
Well, if they do, I'm sure the next time that you see either one of them, that'll be a great talking point that they'll love. So be sure to bring that up. Next at the 13-20, we have Katie Dickens and Jennifer Ketty against Megan Gebbard and Caitlin Leary.
Yep, Megan Gebbard back. I'm going to say this every time I see her name. MIT grad, YD3. We love to see it. Dickens and Ketty, once again, they of course got in Atlanta, and they won a match by forfeit. So, and then lost to Semo and Van Winkle 2 weeks ago in 3. So in a close match, but yeah, they're playing reasonably well. I think they take this one. Gebbard is solid, and Leary's good too. She's played a fair amount over the last few years. Never finishing better than 21st in an AVP, so I think Dickens and Ketty take this one.
All right. Our last match of this quadrant, the 4 versus the 29, Fallon and Gina Urango against Kristen Height and Jessie Carnes.
Yeah, I think this one's pretty straightforward. Fallon and Gina probably going away. So another one of the teams from phase 1. won a match yesterday or today rather, to get to tomorrow. But I think Gina and Fallon take care of business.
Notice how I shied away from the last name there. Well,
I mean, I don't know why. It's a legendary last name. You know it.
Yeah, I do know it. I don't know why. I'm just kind of nervous. I think I just kind of looked at it and I was like, that's a lot of vowels. I'm just gonna move
Got a
on.
little gun shy there, my friend.
Yeah. All right. So round of 16, we have the Maestrinis against Ashley Pater, Bree Scarborough.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really pick against the Brazilians here. They're gonna definitely get to the match to get in, and yeah, they're gonna win this. Yeah. Pretty straightforward, I think. I don't think they might be the best team in the qualifier, even at the 5 seed.
Yeah, I mean, looking at I don't think there's anyone else I would take over them right now, especially coming off their third at Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
All right, so the other match we have Dickens and Ketty against Fallon Fanoy-Moana and
there he is.
And Gina Urango. I was like, I have to say it now.
Yeah, Fallon and Gina straight into Manhattan, played pretty well. They won 2 matches, I believe. Yeah, they won 2 matches or 3 matches. So that was they beat Aurora and Jess. They beat Mackenzie and Sheila Shaw. So they had a nice little run in Manhattan, and I think Ketty is probably a season away from being kind of really good and going deep in more tournaments. You know, when they qualified in Atlanta, they played on center once, and Ken Barnes was calling her a rookie, you know, a 29-year-old rookie. You know, they kept saying that over and over, and I think that's going to kind of show through here a little bit against Gina and Fallon. And I think Gina and Fallon end up in the match to get in.
All right, so our match to get in, we have the Maestrinis against Fallon Fanoy-Moana and Gina Urango.
I feel like this is kind of the main event of the qualifier. You know, both these teams straight into Manhattan, and you know, in a different situation, are probably both straight into this tournament as well. I would say 2 of the top 3 teams in the qualifier end up in the same quad, which is tough. But I think this thing ends up being kind of gnarly. I think it's probably going to go 3, but I think I probably got to go Brazilians. I got to lean that way.
Sure. I will go ahead and take the Brazilians as well, but I will take them in 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Just finding reasons to disagree with you, Shane.
There we go.
Next, we have the 3 versus the 30. Mackenzie Pawnee, Sheila Shaw against Charlie Ekstrom and Juliana Pawnee Napoleon.
Yeah. Charlie Ekstrom and Pawnee Napoleon, college players. Charlie is at Stanford, and Pawnee is at one point was at Hawaii. I'm not 100% sure if she's still there. But one of the teams that came out of phase 1 today. They won in their match in 3. So this is another one of those matches that's probably going to be a little closer in real life than it looks with the seeding. I think that Charlie and Pawnee could give them some problems, but I think just the experience of Pawnee and Shaw take them over the top here, and they'll take this one.
Sure.
It could be close though.
Yeah, I agree. I think Napoleon comes up short.
There he is.
All right, next we have Nicole Drake and Jessica Jendrick against Delaney, Clayson and Lauren Deterk.
So this is an interesting matchup because 2 seasons ago, I believe, well, I guess last full season, so 2019, Jess Jendrick and Delaney Clayson played together, I think in 4 events, which would have been all of them. And they got to the match to get in Chicago and lost. But Jess Jendrick is Jeff Jendrick's sister. Jeff is the one in the middle on the national team. Yes. And this is kind of her hometown event as well. this is kind of honestly a coin flip in my brain. This thing might go a while. I think I'm gonna take Drake and Jendrick in this match.
Okay. All right.
It's just what my brain is telling me to do. I'm not sure I can necessarily vocalize why, but I think I'm just gonna take them.
Okay. Next round, 11 versus 22. Not the next round, the next match. Anika Roland, Tegan Van Gunst against Victoria Dennis and Kali York.
Yeah, this is an interesting one for sure. We talked about Victoria Dennis and Kali York last time for Manhattan. Victoria Dennis is like 6'3", so she'll run up and block for York.
Right.
Yeah, this will be interesting. They played each other in the round before the round to get in Manhattan. These same two teams. Roland and Van Gunst won 24-22, 21-18. So I think the wind and how if it's as windy tomorrow as it was today, I think that favors Roland and Van Gunst pretty heavily, especially if it's a side wind. And I think for that reason, I'm going to take the sisters. So I'm going to take Roland and Van Gunst.
Sure. Next, we've got the 6 versus the 27. Delaney Mcwhirter, Sarah Putt against Natalie Myskowski and Sophie Moore.
Yeah. This one we talked about more Myskowski last time. Two, again, younger kids. They're about to be freshmen in college, both headed to UCLA. Very solid players. Probably going to end up losing this one. Sarah Putt was at Stetson for a little bit and then transferred over to Florida State. Was on that same team with Haley Luke and Katie Horton when they got second at the national tournament. So she's got a lot of experience in big matches. Of course, Delaney has played and been playing qualifiers for years and years. Has been in a couple times. So I think Delaney and Sarah take this one.
All right. Next, Mackenzie Pawnee, Sheila Shaw against Nicole Drake and Jessica Jendrick. Rolling with
I think the hometown magic dies here a little bit for Jess Jendrick, unfortunately, and Pawnee and Shaw end up in the match to get in.
All right, and then on the other side of this quadrant, we have Roland and Van Gunst against Delaney Mcwhirter, Sarah Putt.
This one's interesting. I think, Roland and Van Gunst, obviously, they're sisters. They grew up together, been playing volleyball forever. Mcwhirter and Putt, I don't really know the history of their training. I'm pretty sure this is the first tournament they've ever played together.
Right. Mcwhirter's been bouncing around a good bit this season.
She has. Yeah, she really has. I'm not really sure, what's going on with that. But so, yeah, I think. And the other thing is, Delaney's been blocking a lot. And Sarah has been doing a fair amount of splitting, I think, the last couple of years. So I'm not really sure what that is going to look like.
Sure.
So I think just from like a consistency perspective, I'm going to take Roland and Van Gunst to get to the match to get in here.
Okay, so now we've got Mackenzie Pawnee, Sheila Shaw against Anika Roland and Tegan Van Gunst. Think the sisters get it done, or you got to go with the top seed?
This is a bit of a stumper for me. I just, Pawnee Shaw, they train in Southern California with that side wind. Roland and Van Gunst, I talked about this last time. They come from a program at Georgia State that, values small skills, values wind skills, and values like angle pulling at the right time. And so, of course, in that situation, when you have players like that, they're favored in the wind as well. So I think that's kind of a wash. Man, my gut is telling me that the sisters qualify for some reason. Pawnee and Shaw played reasonably well in Manhattan, but I think Van Gunst and Roland travel a lot more and maybe are used to kind of recently, in all fairness, they've been traveling a lot more. Of course, Pawnee and Shaw have traveled a good amount in the past too, but Yeah, I'm going Roland and Van Gunst. It's kind of a gut pick a little bit.
Sure. I like the gutsy pick.
Yeah.
I think you were, I'd say you were entirely too much chalk last time, but you only missed 2, so I can't really criticize.
Yeah.
All right, so now we are on the last quadrant, 7 versus 26. Cecilia Agres, Janelle Allen against Reagan Mcwhirter and Katie Lindstrom.
Yeah, this is interesting. Reagan Mcwhirter played indoor at TCU, just kind of in quarantine-ish the last like 18 months or so, has kind of made a big transition to beach, started kind of making a push to train. So she's still relatively new by kind of experience standards. You know, Katie Lindstrom, of course, is the opposite. She's played, you know, she's been playing qualifier since 2017, and you know, NVLs before that. So she's been around doing it for a while. So I think Agres and Allen take this, but I think Mcwhirter could be somebody to watch. I think she's about 6'1" or 6'2", so she could be somebody to watch coming down the line if she starts training with the right groups. And I think she's in Texas. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say I think the heavy win here will definitely favor the top seed in this matchup. You know.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. All right, 10 versus 23. We have Aya Lindahl and Lydia Smith against Rachel Crabacker and Tani Stevens.
I think Lindahl and Smith were the 10 in the last bracket as well.
So I think they were the 7, I believe.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah.
I knew they were. I think they were in this quad, right?
Yeah, they were for sure.
Oh, because I picked them to lose, and that was a upset by the seeding. That's right. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to pick them to lose here. I think they take care of business. Same kind of a situation with Crabacker and Stevens. Just, you know, they both played an event or two this year. I think Stevens lost in phase 1 in her event, and it looks like Crabacker, I think she maybe lost in the first round of phase 2. So yeah, I'm just going to take Lindahl and Smith. Lydia coming off a big ECSC win with Ashley McGinn. Yeah.
The big Virginia Beach, I think they had 14, maybe 15 teams in that one.
Hey, she got to hold the big check. You know what I mean?
Yeah, did get to hold the big check, so she's riding high. She's feeling good. Next, we got the 15-18 Macy Jurger, Devin Newberry against Josephine Kramer and Peyton Rund.
Yeah, this is interesting. Certainly interesting. Joe Kramer, South Carolina, or excuse me, wrong SC. I'm going to get crucified for that. USC. And Peyton Rund, of course, we talked about both these players last time. Peyton Rund, St. Mary's, and then Macy Jurger and Devin Newberry. Devin qualified last tournament in Manhattan with Delaney Maple. I think I gotta go chalk here and take Jurger and Newberry, even though it's a new partnership. I think Kramer and Rund have played together before, but I think just kind of head to head, the individual players of Jurger and Newberry are a little better than Kramer and Rund.
I'm trying to remember who Newberry played with last time, because I remember that we picked them to go recently.
Delaney Maple.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, 2 versus 31, Jessica Gaffney, Maria Clara Salgado, another new partnership against Lisa Red and Lindsay Knudsen.
Lindsay Knudsen, sister of Delaney Mcwhirter.
A great insight.
And former partner of Peyton Rund. There you go. There's some insight for you.
Yeah,
we talked about that last time too. Yeah, Knudsen and Reed coming out of phase 1 today. Lisa Reed has played quite a few qualifiers over the last few years. Best finish in 29th. So I think go Gaffney and Salgado here. I'm interested to see what the scores look like of that, because it is a new partnership. Gaffney has done well, but yeah, we'll see what that looks like. That's something that I'm intrigued to watch.
Yeah. All right. Cecilia Agres, Janelle Allen against Lindahl and Smith.
This one's tough. This one's tough for me because I think Lydia could really affect some things at the net. Janelle Allen, of course, has been doing this for a good amount of time. We would consider her a veteran. And Cecilia Agraz is good too. This is, I think it's going to be close. I think I could see, if Lydia plays as well as she did, at Pottstown, then
I thought you were going to mention ECSC again.
This could be close.
Surfing championships.
No, she held a much bigger check at Pottstown at the end of that one. So yeah, if she plays as well as she did at Pottstown, I could see it going their way. But I think she's probably still a year away, from really being able to push a kind of a veteran team like Agraz and Allen. And I'm going to go with them on this one.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and respectfully disagree and pick my friend on this one, just because the opportunity presented itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Lydia Smith and Lindahl here. All right, next we have Macy Jurger, Devin Newberry against Jessica Gaffney and Maria Clara Salgado.
Yeah, this is another kind of really interesting matchup for me to see. Gaffney is kind of interesting to me. I think she could end up being really, really good. Still pretty young. She's 25, but she's played, in the last 3 AVP seasons, she's played with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is her 10th partner. So not a whole lot of consistency in partner from her. So I'm anxious to see, how a player like Clara Salgado, with the experience that she has and just kind of the knowledge of how things work, how she kind of brings Gaffney along. Jurger Newberry, also a pretty young combined team. I'm going to go with the experience of Clara Salgado. I think she's just the best player out there, and I think that's going to carry them through here to the match to get in.
Yeah. All right. Last match, we've got Agraz and Allen against Jessica Gaffney and Maria Clara Salgado.
Well, this actually might be, this might end up being the best match of the qualifier. And I know I said that already, but this has a chance to be maybe the most entertaining one to watch. Sure. The last one, the Brazilians against Fallon and Gina, that's one that, you look at those two teams and you're like, oh, they should definitely both be in. Right. This one I think has a little bit more of an entertainment factor. I think this will be really, really fun. I think it'll be good. I think, Agraz and Allen have depth of experience and just have been at so many events and done this so many times. And Salgado, same thing. I think the key to this one is Gaffney. We'll see how she plays. My guess is, if it gets to this point, they're going to serve Gaffney a lot of balls. Sure. And we'll just kind of see how that plays out. If she's playing well and she's handling the wind okay, then I think, Salgado and Gaffney are okay. If not, then, maybe Agraz and Allen take it. I'm going to go Agraz and Allen on this, just from an experience standpoint, handling that wind as those California people like we talked about with that side wind.
Sure. And kind of the interesting thing there to watch too is even if Gaffney does handle the wind well from a passing and side out perspective, will she be able to handle it from a setting perspective as well?
That's true. Yeah.
Which would be interesting to watch. So yep. I like that you're not so much chalk on this bracket. Definitely took
didn't go quite as chalk on this one.
Yeah, you definitely took some risks, some adventures. I think I think part of it too is that now that we've had 2 full events now that are affecting people's points, I think you're starting to see points shift a little bit. So there are people that are kind of migrating up, people that are migrating down, and you're kind of seeing this kind of interesting shake up at the moment.
Yeah, on every team that I have here in the match to get in, you've got at least one player, if not both players, that were in the main draw in Manhattan.
Right.
except for Savvy and Van Winkle.
Right.
But they're on the doorstep.
Right. They're on the doorstep. And I mean, Semo had a strong performance in Atlanta as well.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. You almost, you look at this qualifier and you're almost like, man, I kind of wish this was a bigger draw.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of teams in the qualifier that really deserve to be in there. So it's interesting. We'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, it's like, wow, should the AVP expand the draw? I don't know.
I don't know. This is what do we think? What do we think? Marty, Jeff, what do we think? Guys, what do we think?
I don't know. I think especially on the women's side, I think they should expand it.
Yeah, it's just getting so deep with all the college players that are developing, and the college coaches are doing such a good job. It's like, man, we got so many good players. Like, why not let them in there and get them on that center stage? But
yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but I kind of like the idea of the 24 team draw. Really puts a lot. Really, the 24 team is like interesting because it really puts a lot of pressure on you to try to win two, like assuming you're not one of the top 8 seeds, win 2 matches. Because if you don't win 2, you're essentially right back where you started. I mean, yeah, you supposedly have a better draw for that 17th place game, but at the same time, the field's so deep that you might not.
Isn't there something weird with the 24 team draw where like it's better to lose your first than to win your first?
That's only in like local tournaments if you're kind of out of shape and prone to cramping, because then the schedule screws you when you're doing the entire event in one day, because then you just like play.
Sure.
So that's only a local event thing, something that these
Okay.
professional athletes won't have to deal with.
Yeah, they don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on again. I'll be following your picks with great earnest. Hopefully because you're wrong. But we'll see. All right.
You gonna recap the teams we put in?
Yeah, real quick. So we went with Semo and Van Winkle, the Brazilians, the Maestrinis, Roland and Van Gunst, and then Agres and Allen.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, love your picks. Thanks for hopping on. Thank you for watching Eastern Volleyball Network. Peace out, guys.
Later, guys.